number 2 mechanic. I built pretty much the whole front end of Sebastian's car. Put the front end of the car together. The internals which sits inside, obviously they're well hidden, and you've got to have very small hands to actually get in there and touch these kind of things, because space is what we want to kind of narrow down as much as we can. I put the corners together, which is the assemblies. Sort of, I get an upright assembly. And I put all the little items on it so it all fits together as one item. Put the inside of the cockpit together. Make sure that the driver is comfortable in there. Seat belts, you strap them in. You check all the brake systems working correctly in conjunction with the data guys. So basically we're ready to go as soon as we hit the track.
My role is race team coordinator. We're packing all the air freight here to go to Austin. We fly Sunday and start building the garage on Monday in preparation for the race on the following weekend. Just out here making sure that we've got everything. Do one and then the other one. Go on. Not keep your hand in. Biggest challenge is probably time frame. The planes don't change when they go. We get told when we need to be at the airport. That's sometimes a challenge. We've got a short turnaround. This time we've had quite a good break. So we're looking in pretty good shape for America. We take in excess of 30,000 kilos air freight, and we've got 2 40-foot containers that have gone by sea, which left probably middle of August.
These tweezers here I borrowed off him for he normally uses for his eyebrows, so that's why it's
Stop it.
It's a little bit more relaxed here because we are at home. It's like training on your normal football ground, I guess. We got the stores next to you, you got electronics next to you, you got all the various departments next to you. Because this is what we call a flyaway, where they're not going in a truck to go away, they actually get built without the back end of the car, and they get put in a pallet. Then we have to build the rest of it at the racetrack. There's definitely more pressure at the racetrack. You've got a green light by the time the circuit's open, you've got to be on track. If you miss qualifying by 10 minutes, or you're not in the race, you're starting last. So here the pressure is probably getting ready for shipping the cars, where at the track it's a little bit more compressed because you've got a lot less time.
It's this one, as you can see, she's ready to go, labelled up for America. 40 sets of wheel rims in here, spare chassis if we should need it, all the driver's kit. Move along to the next one. Race team composites, radiators for the car, a couple of spare engine covers just in case, spare rear ends for the car, get 3 of them in the bottom, so all ready to go to rub bolts straight on the car when we get to the other end. Wheel guns for the pit stops. This one here carries the pit wall podium, which the engineers sit on for the race. This one here is where the cars travel. You've got chassis sits on the bottom, then another one, and then spare parts on the top. We used to build a complete car. Now you think, well, have we got everything? But so far, so good. Pictures of where bits and pieces go, so anyone can sort of basically load it. Engine covers, bodywork. There's probably a couple of noses tucked inside as well. That's ready to go on the truck now to the airport, and it goes straight on into the plane.
So yeah, quite often you actually end up putting the car together back home here for a flyaway, and you end up taking it all apart, not all of it apart, but take it apart at the other end because you're waiting for maybe a new production part that should hopefully make the car a bit quicker or something. So that's a part of our job. If you got every single part available a week before, you've not pushed your development far enough. That's how this game works. If you say you're ready 2 weeks in advance and there's nothing new, you've probably not tried hard enough. So I don't mind, no, I don't think anybody minds having the parts late because it's been part of the way we operate. We try and extract the most performance out of these cars. There's no good having them sitting in here being, if they could have been 4/10 quicker during the race weekend, if we had a new part, we would rather just take it all apart when we get to the other end and make sure we beat them all.
If we had every part here and we came in at Upper State this morning and everything was ready, we'd be done by now. It's a matter of waiting, and you've got to wait for that one piece to turn up to get the next piece in.
Very often when you've got a very tall driver, that's as we call front enders, mechanics that work on a front end, we're front enders. The tall drivers are pretty much not the worst, but the hardest one because your pedals will be blocking the hatch where you actually work through. You only got these 2 little areas to work through. That's left front. Very often you actually work without you can actually see what you're doing. So you sort of work with your hands and your feel, so you never see huge gloves on any people up here. I've dropped loads of stuff, but I've always managed to get it out. These are the little clips that sort of, you've got to get in and you've got to put in a special little manage to sort of lock a little potentiometer or something in. And the amount of times you think you got it, you touch it and it springs off, and then it's a matter of just get your magnet in, and obviously that's easy to find it here, but quite often it's hidden under something, and you can't actually see it. So you've got mirrors on the stick, you've got an airline, because you've got to have everything out. You're not allowed to leave anything in there whatsoever. Imagine if that got stuck in a brake pedal, throttle pedal or something. So every item always got to come out, and like I say, you will end up finding them somewhere, one way or the other.
Boys are loading the car pallets now, cars are finished.
Yeah, already?
Yeah, hopefully one or two dark when we get out of here.
Every day's different. I come to work with a rough idea what I'm going to do, but whatever turns up, you deal with. You know, it's like at the racetrack. You go in with what your regular day is, but if something crops up, you go and deal with it. So it makes it interesting, because as I say, every day's different. Keeps it entertaining. Oh, we're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah, it's just Darren's gearbox stuff on me.
Perfect. All right, nice one.
Well, this is sort of the final part of pack-up, I guess. Get the... never forget your team kit, because basically here all it is. I've got put in straight after the last race, and look at that, what a service, all ready to go. A doubleheader is always a little bit different, because the next event, you know, after you've done the first event, you've got to get it laundered, most of it, at the next hotel. So there have been various times when people have come in with I haven't got a shirt, I haven't got this and that. If it's a new hotel, that's not used. If you say there's 4 teams staying at the same hotel, and every single man from every single team got a bag of laundry, that's a little bit different from that hotel the week before. We're not that busy in the laundrette, but suddenly now it's full. So there we go, that's it, ready to go. Last pack up.
This is 16 and 3 to go. Austin, then straight to Brazil, home for a few days, and Abu Dhabi. I first started Formula 1 in 1992. I've done in excess of 350 races. If you didn't enjoy it, it's time to get out. It's, you know, still it is hard work travelling, but it's still get out of it. So yeah, still good.
We're now fully prepared. Now it's a little bit of home time, not a huge amount, but yeah, it's a nice feeling to have everything prepared. You know, the cars are loaded up and the freight is good to go. We've had some absolutely amazing experience being obviously on Seb's cars. You know, to win 4 championships in a row has been something dreams are made of, and for me personally, to be selected to go up and collect a Constructors' Trophy in Singapore 2 years ago was a big clap on the shoulder from Christian and the whole team. A little memory of a great weekend that's I'll definitely never forget.
Motorsport's been a big part of my life for over 20 years. If you actually walk around my house, you wouldn't know unless you come into this room what I did for a living. Got a few pictures from my early days when I was doing tyres at Jordan's, and even my early days at TWR when I'm not quite recognisable in that picture. Mr Irvine's fire at Spa. Print from Sebastian, which has signed my little motor racing world.
Pack up shirts, you just take it all out of here, because you know I had it all last week. Unless they're messed up the laundry, it should all be there. See, that's how laundry should come everywhere. High-vis for safety, as it's always pitch black. You need 2 of them, 1 for each event.
It's a team effort, that. This is all with me. If I forget it, it's down to me. If we forget something at work, there's normally a reason for it. But if I forget something, it's it's down to me.
Time at home is the time you really recover. And obviously, just being at home is always nice, and I think it is for everybody. Spending time away is obviously part of our job, and it's always been like that. And I knew that from the day I started in motorsport, that it is weekends, it is a lot of the time away. I'm sure my girlfriend finds it quite hard when I'm away. Well, let's find out. No, I'm sure she deals with it quite well. She's got a lot of friends around here, from some of my colleagues as well, that their girlfriends at home as well, and they tend to go out shopping, I think, most of the time when we're away. And quite a lot of the times I get a little text, oh, we're just having a little curry night tonight or something on a Saturday while we're away, and we're still at work at that time normally. So I think they cope, definitely. It's their own little time, isn't it?
We travel like, it's like a big family that you travel with, so that's quite nice. You meet some proper friends who, even when you finish doing this, you still keep in touch. So has its good and its bad points, like every job. It's not a bad way to earn a living.
Yeah, now we're ready. I've checked my passport, checked the FOM pass. That's everything else you can pretty much buy. Put your laptop in, make sure your laptop's charged. And then we'll pretty much head to the factory, early morning leave, and that's it. Race on. Yeah, right now it's Sunday morning, sort of 7:45, and our next little journey of this little trip here is jumping on the bus. So people will be checking in, reading news. Some people realise what they've forgotten at home and text your missus to see if she can get it there, if that's, if that's an option.
That's it, we're all here.
I never really get nervous about it this time because if you've forgotten something, it's too late anyway, so go with the flow. As long as you've got your FIA pass and your passport, and then you're pretty safe. Right, that's it. Terminal 5, last little bit of the journey. Check-in, security, breakfast, off to sleep for a couple of hours, I guess. So, Austin, here we come.